Welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the technical difficulties. You know how it is. There's a lot of stuff that we have to fiddle with behind the scenes to get it all working. You'll probably see me lining up people's cameras a bit on the go as I do, just to make everything look a bit nicer as we go as well. But welcome again. And it's good to see some of you back from the previous episode as well. So looking forward to getting into this. So we're going to go around. We're going to have each player basically introduce their character, introduce who they're playing, a little bit about them, and yeah, after that, I'll give you a recap and we'll jump right in. Nice and easy. So we'll start the same way as last time with our brilliant ex-outlaw turned outlaw again. It's a very prolific career, it seems, that you can never escape. Morgan.
Howdy. We're introducing ourselves again, right? Yes. So hi, I'm playing Morgan. I am also known by my monkey of Loria Lark on Instagram and Twitter. Mostly Instagram, where you find pictures of my cat. I'm super excited for this session, and I think we're all gonna die.
Alright, that bodes well for the team, and we'll move straight on down to your doctor, who's hopefully gonna make you not die, Dr. Snips.
I mean,
Save us all.
that is the plan.
That is the plan.
I'm playing Phineas Sterling, otherwise goes by the moniker of Dr. Snips. I'm shall we say, a doctor on the run, because people want papers these days, and as such, I'm going to make sure that the party stays alive as much as they may wish to die.
Brilliant, and yeah, hopefully they will.
I'm the one that's been having the internet problems.
We can tell you look like you're serenading us on screen right now with how the camera's froze, so I mean, it's all good. You could just flip the camera probably off and on again and it'll be fine on the UI. But moving on to Mordecai, welcome back.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm Rocksteady, and I'm playing Mordecai Taylor, outlaw extraordinaire. Not. Is it cliche to say I got a bad feeling about this? Feels rushed, feels uncomfortable. I mean, a bank, that's some high stakes.
Oh, it is. Very high stakes, and we'll see how it goes in this session for sure. And finally, our straggler on the road with a sword at his side and a dream in his heart, Jonny Sixshot. Welcome back.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gene. I play the eponymous Jonny Sixshot. I'm the cowboy with the sword and a bad eye. I do this work. This job is gonna go by swimmingly. You guys are overthinking things.
I
think
like your confidence.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think it's all gonna go okay. There's nothing wrong with this. Hidden the bank, nothing suspicious about it. It's
Nothing
all
wrong.
good. It's gonna go great. You got a chicken. You're fine. Speaking of, to
All
recap,
reliable.
all reliable. And speaking of that, though, we'll give you a quick recap. So our group are a part of a group of outlaws. They're currently on the run, trying to get out of this country and trying to basically live their lives elsewhere. And last session, we found them all hidden rock bottom, finding that they need to have one last job, get the money, and just get the hell out of here because everything's closing in. People's pasts are closing in on them. There's people after them. There's people out for their heads. Overall, it's not looking good for our group. So they found Jonny on the road and took him in. He seemed a decent sort. And since then, they've been planning to hit a bank. Seems there's a big delivery of some gold coming in, and they want that gold. It's enough to pay them out and then some, get them all their identities they need, and to be able to skip the country. And they made their plan last session, which we'll recap in a moment. I'll get a player to tell you their plan. It's probably even better that way. And they began to set it up, with their distraction logs being placed perfectly in the distraction zone that they had set out to stop a cart from rolling in towards the bank. So, who wants to tell us about your plan, by the way? Who's gonna tell us about your plan? I'll give you an extra Benny if you tell us about your plan accurately.
I volunteer Mordecai.
Oh, thank you, Morgan. I appreciate you coming forward and just pushing me out there. That's great.
You're very welcome.
Right, so the plan is, I hope,
This is going well.
pray that when this suspiciously lonesome caravan comes down the road, unguarded by nobody but one guy riding shotgun, he stops at the distraction logs. We hold him up, roughhouse him a little, and incapacitate the poor fella and the driver. Take the caravan into town, walk in the bank and somehow profit. Meanwhile, a second distraction team also goes into town, starts something in the saloon with a particularly belligerent barber, which is in no relation to Dr. Snips's current enterprises in cutting hair and fixing wounds, draw out the sheriff, and then allow the other team to then get to the profit part of the plan. All the while not attracting any attention or incurring the wrath of any rail lords that may or may not be involved with this bank.
It's got the word bank attached to it and the word rail attached to it.
Yeah, it's gonna go great. I can feel it in my waters. It's a great plan. All of it is.
The cards are down and they're
It'll be
looking
fine.
good.
The cards are on crack.
Okay, so yeah, your plan was put logs on a road, stop cart, rob cart, take cart, go to bank, and get in and take the money in there, or at least the deed that's said to be in there, the paper that you're supposed to be getting. And we stopped last time as you'd all set up your plan, got everything ready, and you got yourselves ready to hit this place. You put down your distraction logs, and you heard the cart rolling in. And it's at that time that we called the session. So, you find yourselves down at this strange section of road that carries itself around in this almost figure eight. And you pop down those 2 logs on both the sections of the road. You hear the cart rolling in. Mordecai, you're in place. Morgan, you're in place. And of course, your frontal team is stood near the road. So how are you going to pull this off? As you hear the cart rolling in, it's getting closer and you see it in the distance. A big, armored, it looks mostly armored at the very least. Its wheels are still kind of rolling, a bit rickety from the weight of the thing itself, but there's definitely guards on there. You can see one of them kind of peeking out and then closing it back up as they look ahead at the road and seem to shout something on the inside. Seems they've noticed your distraction logs.
So there's
How many
people. Go ahead.
How many people are sat riding shotgun, if anyone?
So there is only one person riding shotgun, and they do have a gun in hand. They have a rifle that is currently on their lap, and they look a bit older, have a big grey mustache, handlebar, and have a hat that they kind of lift up to look over at the road, looking ahead towards the log. They look a bit confused.
And you say there's hatches down the side of this.
Yeah. There's a
This
hatch
wagon.
on the side of the wagon. It seems armored. There's metal that's been put on it.
Okay.
It's a very loud wagon. It's rattling, and there's metal clanks with it, and the wheels are struggling, and it's pushing. It's quite a track in there as well. And the horses are kicking up a fuss now that they've seen the log ahead.
Well, we wait for them to deal with the log, I think.
Okay.
First, but I do think we should probably wait for them to either try and turn around or alternatively shift the log. We might get a few of them out of the actual wagon itself.
I agree. So there's the people riding in the cart.
So there's the driver. There's one person to the side with a gun on their lap, older man, one of the guards. And then there's somebody who looked out from inside the wagon. So seemingly there's another person in there, at the very least.
Okay.
And it's dark out. It's getting dim by this point. Mordecai, you're completely obscured. You're hidden, a bit further away, rifle ready. Morgan, what were you doing? You were also going for the shot to take out somebody, weren't you? Cool.
Yep.
So where would you say you are?
Me. Well, I'd like to have a vantage point, so I'll be hiding behind somewhere where I can, get a clear view of what's happening there without having them see me.
Yeah, easy enough. There's some rocks nearby. You can kind of get behind one of those.
I got some dirt smeared on my face, all that. So I'll just be basically while they're talking, I'll give them like a little, and just kind of line up my shot while I'm waiting. But I
Alright.
will wait until I see more people.
Okay.
I believe they said 2, right? Only 2 people guarding it.
There's gonna be 2 guards, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not gonna be many guards. Only one of them that's very experienced from what you got the idea of, which seems to match this gentleman on the front of the wagon that's rattling in. And they kind of look at the log. The older man, you see, kind of puts up a hand, and the driver begins to slow. And they get closer to the log, about 10 foot away from it, as the older man kind of slings the rifle on his back and steps off of the wagon. And he begins to walk over towards it as he comes towards the left intersection. And those of you close enough do hear him shouting as he goes, "Well, I don't know what they do around here to do these things. Putting logs on the floor, they should keep this place clear. Goddamn outback people," he says. He starts lifting the log and lugging it to the side. Looks quite well dressed.
This guy is hench as hell.
Hell,
He's not moving, he's like...
Comments!
He's like starting to lift. He's got a lot of trouble with this. Like, he's gonna be a while doing this. He can act at any point, but he is starting to like lift and drag the log.
Like,
Oh my god, this man. He's just.
How
this is
far
some of
away are
my
we
day's
from them?
work.
That's up to you. You set up.
Okay. So I figure I'm just off to the side somewhere, like just out of shot, maybe behind a tree.
Cool.
Like,
So, those of you that would be considered closer, could you give me stealth checks, please?
Good. One of those, eh?
If I fell, I'm
How close is close?
Recording you.
Like within 20 odd foot. Like within sort of an eye line of him. Even if it's behind a tree or hiding slightly, just a bit closer than would be, you know.
All right. Well,
easily
I'm not
discernible.
doing the whole big gun thing, so yeah, I'll be slightly closer.
All right,
All
so
right,
a
let's
5 and a
see
5. Okay, so
Let's
he'll
see
try and see you.
myself.
Nice, all 5s it seems.
damn.
So you were a
Okay.
bit further away, Morgan, so you'll get something for that. But as you sort of all sit there and you're waiting, he does kind of stop with his log for a second. He looks over towards the trees where you are, Snips.
As he's looking over, and I take it he's got a log in hand.
Yeah, he's got a log in hand. He just kind of looks over and seems to twig you there.
I pull a knife and I sling it into his lower calf, so making a cold shot.
Okay, no
Oh,
problem.
fuck.
So as you kind of draw that knife, you do hear something shouted before you kind of go for the fling, and he just kind of go,
That's fine.
"Can you help me with this? Somebody's put a log in the road. They've left it here. It's real inconvenient." You and your friend.
Yes. No. Of course. I'm sure I'll help.
Thank you. We're just trying to make a delivery. You know how it is. But people keep on putting logs in the road. It's real inconvenient for me. Probably some local kids. He looks at the size of the log. Strong kids.
What role do you want, Steve?
What, for the fling?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just give me the throwing check, please. You can have a +2 as he's trusting right now.
Aw,
Oh.
that's so cute. We're gonna betray it.
Boy. Is that like a massive oversight on my part, where I've made a guy who throws knives but doesn't have throwing?
Have you done that? Have you done that? Please tell me you've done that.
Yeah, I probably have done that. Yeah.
Oh
I know, right?
my God.
Let me just check this for a moment. I think actually it goes off athletics and Suede, so that's fine. It's okay, we're good. That's why you've got athletics.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
that's
my
what I was
confusion
thinking.
from
You're totally right.
Deluxe to Adventure Edition. My bad. Adventure Edition adds athletics. It's a great skill.
Okay, so there you go. 11 on a wild die for a cold shot.
Yeah, so you throw it, and where were you aiming again, sorry?
Just into his back calf. So like he's got hold of this log. I want him to drop the log and it land on his feet or something like that.
Sure, yeah, so
Go for.
could you roll me the damage of your knife? It should be under your attack section or your weapon section, whichever one it is. Boom, 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 and just roll me that, please. And you have a raise, so if it asks you about a raise, yes. Boom, boom,
How do you actually get it to roll this thing?
Okay, so this is, first combat section, so we're doing the tutorial here of the Roll20 sheet. So,
There you go. So 12 didn't and +5, so 17
brilliant
damage.
stuff. That's That's a lot of damage. Yeah, so you fling it into his calf. It strikes and seems to cleave all the way through. And you see a kind of horrific moment for those of you watching as Snips just kind of end over end throws this knife that tumbles over. It hits them in the back of the ankle, but it seems to just go through as the gentleman's foot just detaches from his leg. And he flops over, and the log lands on his side, and he's kind of half crushed under the log, missing his foot as he's bleeding out on the ground. As that's a lot. That's a lot of damage for the 12 there, and yeah, that's +5 damage for bonus damage. So, nasty.
I'll take that. So Snips will just go back to like. So you were saying something about sword.
And it's
And
like,
I'll pull another knife and start walking towards the the actual wagon.
Can I see Mordecai from when I'm hiding?
probably not. He's probably hidden away a long way away. But you could
Yeah.
just see this absolute destruction of this man's leg.
Feel the face palm of the back of Mordecai's hat.
And,
yeah, pretty much. Like, I'm just like,
Yeah, and it's at that point as well that essentially the driver just goes, oh no, I don't want any trouble. I'm just driving this thing. Please don't hurt me.
I'm gonna start moving closer towards,
Yeah.
sneaking towards the back of the cart.
Yep.
Because Phineas is walking towards it, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of just sneak through to the back and try to with my revolver out in case if the rider on the inside starts to like get out or something, I like point a gun at his side, hey, don't misbehave.
Yeah, you do sort of see the slot kind of slide open. And it's at that point that a shotgun muzzle is placed against it and fires.
as I
So Johnny.
see-
Oh no.
Yeah, that's bad.
can I like shoot that as
In a
I
moment,
see
but
that?
they basically just heard all this going on outside. They could hear the screaming before the log crushed this man and is killing him. And the drivers, don't hurt me. And at that point, as Johnny sort of walked along the side, they've opened the shutter, just seen him slightly, and then just blown into him with this gun. Luckily, however, Johnny, because you've got cover, because you're still kind of around that corner at that point, the shotgun blast collides with the side and only shakes you as you take a minor wound. Some of the shrapnel just hitting the side of your arm and bloodying your red shirt slightly. But aside from that, you're alright. You're just shaken from the blow. You need to take a moment to get over that. But the rest of you do hear this. It reverberates through the valley. This gunshot
Yeah.
that just...
Did I see the shutter open and the
Yes,
muzzle
you can
come out?
see this. The shutter opened. They popped the muzzle out and just blew a shot straight away.
All right, so from that particular angle and the way we saw it, can I shoot in that, like, aim for that particular place as I've been, like, waiting?
So that's gonna be an interesting trick shot. But yeah, you can certainly give it a go. So if you give me a shot of that, it will be very difficult. They've got basically full cover there. So
You've got full cover, huh?
pretty much, it's just a small slot that they pop their shotgun through.
Oh, if that's the case. She just kind of, like, looks around, make sure no one sees. And we'll take a card and fling it in that direction.
Okay, and what power are you using?
Let's see. I have things that allow me to do things. Now, where are they? Let's see. It's a... Alright. Well, it's a burst of energy.
Okay.
So it's literally just gonna burst the moment that she sends. It's a bolt.
Okay, so you're sending like a card as a bolt towards them. Yeah, sure.
Basically, yeah.
That's all good by me.
And it basically it'll just burst into shards, like a little just translucent card.
Sure,
And that's
give it a
right.
go.
Alright, do I just,
Roll me the
What
attack.
do I do? I think that's a throw, I think. Or is it...
Mm-hmm. It'll be an athletics for your throwing, so...
Okay. Can I just use my throwing?
Yeah, sure, if you've got throwing, but you can transfer those points into athletics.
I've got one
wow,
and I've got
okay.
20.
Alright.
Does that do
So
ya?
on your crit one on the other
Christ.
dice, nothing. But on your 20, even with the amount of cover he's got, even with the odd angle, and with the amount of distance you have to throw this, you take out the card and you throw it. And it will hit with a raise. Can you give me the damage of your bolt, please?
Right, that'll be a 3d6.
Cool, and
Five,
add an
though.
extra d6 on that for the raise as well.
That was the raise.
Oh, it was including the raise. Brilliant.
I'm really sad. It was a 2d6.
So unfortunately, you sling the card out and it flies true. It goes straight in. It skims the top of the barrel of the gun and seems to hit him directly in the side of the face as it splits into shards. And you hear a fuck inside of the cart, but he doesn't seem to die. But you do see the gun retract for a moment as if he's kind of covering his face. So you do have a moment.
Mordecai is going to track perpendicular to the door of the wagon, and try and incapacitate the poor fool through the shutter.
Okay, no problem. So could you give me a shot as well then, please? Again, difficult shot. But Morgan has at least made him remove the gun, so there is a bit more on show.
Cross your fingers.
Would you like to Benny that?
I got one spare, why not?
Okay, on an 8. An 8 is better. It isn't, but... You take aim, and you fire, and it just tings just off the side of the little hole where this guy's been popping his gun through, and it just, you know, the typical Western sound effect happens. Everything's spaghetti right now. As it strikes the side of it, and that ting of metal on metal hits and reverberates through the valley as you barely miss. Again, you hear, like, loud noises of swearing from inside the big metal tank-like cart.
Is there more than one voice?
There's one voice coming from inside. There's the driver who's looking at you, just concerned, still holding the reins, just like,
I'm gonna
please,
walk.
mister, don't. I'm not to do with any of that.
Oh, gonna walk towards the driver.
Okay.
Get out. Just wave the revolver around, still holding
All
my
right,
hand.
all right, I'll leave.
Get out.
I'll leave. It's not worth my life, sir. He says, and sort of gets off and goes,
Lie
thank
down
you.
on the floor, mister.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna let me go, but
No.
I just got this suit. He says, he looks over his suit.
Lie down.
Yes, mister. He says, and sort of lays down on the floor. The poor guy, like, his sort of skin being matted with the dust of the ground, and his hair sort of a tangled mass of sort of blonde that's now getting dyed by this dirt, and he's laid there.
I have a whip, so I'm gonna Red Dead hog tie him.
You're gonna hog tie.
Oh.
Okay, so you hog tie, and he's like, "This is really uncomfortable, sir, but all right.
It's either that or getting shot, mister.
Yeah, this feels more comfortable than getting shot, I think, sir. Thank you. Thank you."
Yes. Start
He
patting him
says,
down to see what he has while the others.
"Oh, you're robbing me
deal
as
with-
well. This is a bad day. Why'd I take this job?"
So,
But meanwhile, Snips, you've approached and you're seeing this.
so I'm going to go in and start applying tourniquets. I'm applying tourniquets
Okay.
to Mister. I've had a really, really bad day, like carrying logs,
Yeah.
and making sure that he's not just going to bleed out.
Okay, no problem. So you can do me a medicine check as you approach this guy, and he's out cold. He's kind of like, "Ugh," screaming a bit in his kind of dazed, unconscious state. But other than that, he's bleeding out. His foot is gone. And yeah, you can give it a tourniquet. Go ahead. But he's
Did we put his medicine under something else?
it should be under healing.
I'm just being blind.
Bum, bum,
That's
bum,
a
bum.
4.
Cool. So you try, but there is no saving this man. You have cut through too
Aw.
much. He has bled out too much. You've taken time to walk over, and he's old. He's dying. He's
Okay.
dead. Like you can't do anything to save this man. You try, and it's a mess. Like you've done a lot more damage here than you thought.
I didn't think I aimed quite as high as the artery in the leg, but okay.
No.
I'll go retrieve my knife and sort of like go through his pockets.
Sure. You go through the pockets, and you begin to sort of look through his stuff. You do get some more rounds for his rifle. His rifle is called a sling to the side where he dropped it when he was hit and lost his foot. And you also do find a couple of wads of paper that seem to be IOUs from a couple of bars. And and that's what you find in his pockets. Jonny, whilst you're searching yours, whilst this gunfight's going to be going back on in a minute, whilst all this has been going down, you find he has one note that is a letter, and he also seems to have a couple of toffees in his pocket.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Can I just keep the note? It won't be of any use to you, so please.
Well, I'll be the judge of that, and
Oh, jeez.
open the letter.
Oh, jeez.
Mind you, Johnny cannot read, so he's gonna look at it.
Oh my god.
He's on the ground looking over his shoulder, just like, oh god, what's he gonna think?
And they just fold it back up, and they just put it back in his pocket.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You're a monster.
What? It ain't that bad, is it? And I'll leave you there. As meanwhile, whilst you guys have been doing that, Morgan and Mordecai, you've got a guy in a cart, and he seems to look back out and try and see one of you. And given your previous roll, Morgan, as you've kind of snuck away, he does unfortunately spot you, but a shotgun ain't got good enough range. So he takes a pot shot with a revolver instead.
That is fair.
So, as you're covered by a rock, luckily the shot does bounce across the rock. It hits it, you kind of have shards of rock and dust just fly out from it, but you're safe. It seems he hasn't managed to get you, and you do hear oh shit from the back again as he just kind of closes the latch, and that's his turn.
He closes the latch.
He closes the door. He's like barricaded himself in.
Okay, and there's no other way in, basically, from there.
From your distance, you can't tell, but like it is a door. There is a door on there, so you must be some way in some sort of way. He's got to get out, right? So.
Yeah.
But it seems he's holding up in there.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. I'll just kind of well, Morgan is not too religious, but sometimes she is. She's like, and pray to God or the devil. Not sure which one will hear her first for some protection. I'm casting deflection.
Oh, okay. You're casting deflection. That makes sense. I was like, I use my action to pray. I was like, all right, cool.
And then we'll basically start kind of duck running for the
to the caravan.
Caravan.
That's fine. So you're starting to
Caravan.
sprint towards
Yes.
the caravan as you've got like this invisible barrier around you of deflection that hopefully will deflect bullets from you. Mordecai, what are you doing? You can see Morgan start to make her way. She's winding her way down.
Okay, so on this door, is there a obvious locking mechanism from the outside?
Give me a very quick notice check on that.
Okay, here we go. Notice. I said notice. 5.
On a 5, you do look over it, and there is sort of an area where you can see there is sort of a slit for a door. It's very thin, but you do also see there is a big, chunky-looking door handle, and near that there is also what looks to be a couple of locks on there that seem to be built into the actual caravan door itself. It seems very secure, but it is quite an obvious door.
Okay. There's more than one lock.
2.
2 locks, right? Okay. Mordecai's gonna get down behind his rifle real steady like. Take an aim and try to shoot up one of the locks.
Okay, no problem. Give me a shot then, please.
Ooh la la.
Here
See
we
if
go.
Mordecai can shoot off a lock from a bulletproof cart.
We'll see.
Critical failure and hits Morgan by accident. Oh, shame. Oh no.
Read between the lines.
Right, okay, on an 11, you actually do manage. You line up and you take a shot at the one that looks like you can possibly blow it out. The other one looks a bit too complicated for that, but the bullet flies, it hits, and you hear a explosion from within as it seems that it's hit something inside. You've blown the lock open, so to speak. You've threaded the needle on that and directly hit it straight into the locking mechanism and just blown that shit open. However, the second one is still locked, but the door now kind of has a bit of a wobble to it, So, the rest of you can hear this as you hear another shot ring out and it collides with the door, and you hear it hit hard, but no rebound from it.
Interesting.
And Morgan, you've made it to the side of the cart at this point. The door's
Okay,
still
do I see a
shut.
little bit of a wibble, a little bit of a wobble?
It does seem to wobble a bit.
Okay.
The door handle's there, there's the second lock still on there. And there's, of course, the two very unfortunate folks on the front end. And a voice just come out from inside as it seems to have heard you come in, your footsteps, and it goes, "You ain't getting in here. There ain't no way in. It's 2 locks. Not 1, but 2. That's double the amount of locks that most things have.
So
You ain't gonna get in."
The first. So basically, you're saying okay. So let me just picture this. There's like 2 sheets, basically, practically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's
Okay.
like 2 lock holes, so to speak. There's one that was more
Okay.
external, there's one that's more internal. Morgai's blown the external one off, but there's one that looks like a big keyhole that just is locked still.
Oh. Well.
We ain't gonna get in without the keys.
All
You
right.
wait.
I have a question. How big are the cracks? Like they're like
Oh, the
like
slit
regular-
that goes
yeah,
through
the
the door.
slit.
Very thin, like millimeters.
would you say card level thin?
Well, your cards are obviously just about as thin, yeah.
Yeah, she's just kind of like, I think I will, and just kind of like
No.
place a very lovely card. She's just put like I don't want to say 3 of swords because she has playing cards, so it should be 3 of no, 3 of clubs. No.
So Morgan's here again. Oh, which card to use?
Yeah, she's just like, hey, I'll do this one. So this is the one that basically means lost. I'm just gonna just slowly slide it under the crack and have it explode.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, you put the card in, he goes, "Ha! Cards ain't gonna get you through here. This ain't a simple lock. You need a key for this lock." And then you blow your card up. Could you give me the damage of it, please?
Yes, please. 9.
Damn it. So you don't quite blow the door open, but you like line it up and you slide it down, almost like using a credit card to open a lock. And as you do, you light it up, and it blows exactly when it hits the actual locking mechanism on the inside, and the door just there's like a bit that folds outwards, and then it opens
As
outwards.
it opens and slowly opens, I just have a gun waiting, like, hey.
Yeah, and there's a gentleman there, and he's stood. He's very clean shaven, dark hair swept back. He's got a hat on that's slightly wonky now. He's got a bit of blood in his face from where your other card hit him. And you see him he drops his shotgun and just puts his hands up. And just like,
I just hold
I
it.
don't want any business. I don't want any trouble. I'm just doing my job. And you're some sort of witch. Well, yeah.
No, just some sort
Exploded
of
cards.
gunpowder and cards. Pretty fun, isn't it?
Well, ain't nobody got through those locks before. There's 2 of them.
Well,
Well, there
ain't
was
nobody.
2 of them.
Come out slowly. Kind of want to have a nice chat with you. Me and my.
I'll be
friends here.
very up for that. But you are a bit quiet,
will.
Miss Morgan. And he steps on out.
Hey Mordecai, I got me a little friend here.
And like
Mordecai,
very large 6'4" man steps out from inside of this cart, towering over Morgan. Very long, sort of tangled hair swept back, and a hat askew on his head and a bit of blood on his face. Hands up.
Mordecai descends from down from yonder hills and saddles up next to Mix Morgan. That's a pretty nice light show. Well done.
What can I say? I got plenty of practice with you.
She's got weird splody cards.
You got weird exploding cards.
Yeah. She has.
Shame for you, mister.
I know. But I couldn't have expected splody cards. That's not something I've ever seen before.
No one
So,
expects the exploding cards. So
no
please,
one.
allow yourself to lay down on the ground over there with your hands behind your head.
I'll
Before
allow
she finds other cracks to place exploding cards.
He kind of goes over and lays down and, prepares to be tied. And he's just like, look, you don't know who you're messing with hitting this cop. when they find out, you'll be in a lot of trouble. I say you let us go. We'll forget about our dead old friend over there. We'll go and do our delivery and leave.
Mordecai kind of kneels next down to this poor gentleman and says, "Actually, sir, I kind of do. This is going to the railway bank, right?"
You're insane.
I've been called worse. So, mister,
Try stupid next time. I whispered to him.
Both. With all
I
due
grin.
respect, sir.
so, respect to no respect aside, is there any protocol we should be following to get this here wagon into town? After we've availed you of it, of course.
You taking it into town? He says a bit
Of
confused
course
by
we
this
are.
entire...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, you meant to deliver it. You go to the back, you knock, you give them the secret knock, they come out.
And what's a secret knock?
Well, it's a secret, miss. That's why it's a secret knock.
Is it worth your life?
No, miss.
I smile very sweetly at him.
No, miss. But there's each of us know one bit of information. I have the keys, which are kind of pointless now. My friend out there, the dead one, he has the secret knock.
Oh.
I glance over at Snips. All right, there, Doctor.
What can I say? I must have just found my groove. I do apologize. I didn't expect him to keel over quite so easily. I mean,
It's all
there's only
right.
one-
I'm rather proud of you. First time I've ever seen you kill so cold-blooded. Oh,
I'm.
time with you is well spent.
And then I'll look more bothered and go and try and find my knife.
You find it. It's
Okay.
next to the foot.
So, this here secret knock, does
Yes.
it change?
Yeah.
Is it known to change?
Oh, yeah, it changes. It changes. One time I was told the secret knock, and that was my duty. I was on secret knock duty. It was a good time. I enjoyed that one. Didn't have to sit in the back of a cart for so long. But apparently it's paid off this time because, well, my friend over there, he's dead. I'm not-
Don't mind your friend over there. He's now free of this mortal coil and in a better place.
Yeah, I'll be
God
honest,
in heaven.
sir. It's kind of terrifying.
I'll
Cut a
come back
man's
to the
foot off like that.
like, and the knife, and just clean
Oh,
me up.
him? Don't mind him. He's just a barber.
I'll just give him a little wave.
Think he's some sort of butcher.
Not much difference.
Well, anyway.
Hey, what does this one know? And I point at the one that's hog-tied.
I don't know nothing. He said.
Oh, my poor boy.
He don't know nothing.
Larry don't know nothing. He's our
Goddamn.
driver.
Well,
Great. Someone that can drive, because God knows I can't drive. Larry, you're in luck. You're staying alive.
That's good to hear. Thank
As long
you,
as play your
sir.
part. Otherwise, I shoot you in the head.
Oh dear,
She means it too.
dear Lord, what have I done to deserve this? I'm
Drive.
just, Miss. I'm gonna retire after this. I used to just deliver groceries. That seems better.
you'll be all right. Pick him up and unhog tie him.
Oh,
Start leading him towards the driver's seat.
oh, thank you, Mister. You're very nice. You don't threaten to shoot me as much as your other friends.
Ain't no thing. And when I sit next to him on the driver's seat, I'm gonna get him real close. Just have my revolver, have my arm behind him. Just have my revolver just pointing at his back.
Oh, this is a bit comfortable. Oh, that's a gun.
You behave now, there.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll drive like I'm a chauffeur from one of them cities.
Okay.
All right.
So, how do you suppose we're going to hide in the back? Oh, look at Mordecai. As I've got this foot and this rifle, and I've probably stashed his rounds and various bits of paper and stuff on my person.
Cool.
Well, we can't deny that we've taken a bit of the old battle damage, so we'll just tell them the truth. Someone tried jumping us. But we saw to him, and they tried dynamiting the door. Unfortunately, they jumbled the locks. But the valiant Miss Morgan was in the back of the town with a shotgun and saw two of those nefarious bandits.
How about we don't use my name, and how about I just hiding in the caravan? I'm a bit too famous, you know?
Well, of course, it wasn't really the Miss Morgan. It was the Miss... whatever your name is.
Thank you kindly.
Miss Mary.
Miss Mary.
Much obliged, ma'am.
Well, how about we have the old feller here tell that story from within the cart? From within the cart. Somebody hides in there with him. Just keeps the gun on him. He'll behave.
It's a fair point. We should probably take the bodies.
Yeah.
How about you and I go and have a lovely little ride in the car? I look at the guy on the ground. Like the big one.
Oh, he's staying alive.
He's like on the
I
ground.
would
He's
like to
like,
have a story told.
I mean, I could ride in the cart with you. That's fine. I mean, I'd rather stay alive.
I mean, I could ride in the car with you as well.
Well, I'll ride in the car. How about that? That way, if you do anything wrong, you'll die.
Well, remember, we still need somebody to do that distraction block.
I give Jonny a wink.
Now I'm just confused.
Oh my god.
Aren't we all? Says Larry next to you.
My, what a comedy of errors this is turning out to be.
Well, I suggest part ways, and I will go ahead into town.
Good luck to you.
I wasn't talking.
Just don't start trying to bushwhack no more people's arms and legs off, please, Doctor. I'd appreciate it.
Only if they're trying to kill you. Got it?
I know. I honestly have no idea how that happened.
Should you really go off alone? Why don't me and Mr. Mordecai over here switch places? He'll sit next to Larry, and I'll go with Dr. Snips.
Are you a good liar?
A good liar and a good at the whole fisticuffs.
Well, if
Yeah, it was
old women
good.
like you, you'll probably be fine.
Probably fine. All right there, Larry.
Yeah,
Behave now.
I will. Thank you, Mr. What's your name?
Don't worry about it.
Just don't worry about it. It's good to see you, and thank you for being so nice. I've never been robbed before. This is, well, you know, it's a new experience, and you've been quite nice.
Well, I'm glad you
Usually
enjoyed
one of
it.
those- Mhm.
I mean, enjoyed is a strong term.
I'll get off the
Larry,
cart.
If you're such a good driver, perhaps we may even take you on. Who knows?
Oh, good.
Shut up.
All right, we'll do whatever you say. He just looks terrified still. He's like shivering by his reins.
know. Would you like a sip of water?
Is that
pass
some
him.
sort of euphemism for killing me? Because
I just passed him my water.
there's a lot of those that you giving me.
Look. Let me tell you something. When you get real scared, you tend to want to pee.
Yeah.
And you lose a lot of water and you start shaking. Like right now. I need you to look relaxed.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean,
Have some water.
remember, we
All
just
right.
saved your life from some terrible, terrible people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're your friends.
Mm-hmm.
I just hold out the water skin. Come on.
He takes it with a shaking hand and just slips it and just gives you it back. Okay, I'll say a few prayers. I'll calm down
Think
and
happy thoughts.
I'll drive. You know, driving is my place where I feel very, very calm.
It's what you do, Larry. You're very good at it.
Yeah, it is.
Great
I'm
drive.
good at it. I was the quickest delivery person for all groceries in my old place. That's why
Larry,
they
that's
took me on for the
fantastic.
bank job.
Larry, that's fantastic news. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Get up there. Get them reins in your hands, boy.
Well,
We
I
got
mean,
Larry.
all right. Yes,
you know,
sir.
I have one little tiny oversight to let you know about Mordecai.
Oh, please, Miss Morgan, tell me this here oversight. I can't.
Oh, well. You see that pile of logs in front of the road? I just grinned at it.
Oh, shoot.
And so we cut the scene there as Mordecai begins to lift the logs and shift them. And was it Jonny and Snips heading into town?
Yeah.
So you two
I'm gonna quickly head to my camp first. Just
Yep.
get rid of the mustache, clean it up so I'm like clean faced and not
Okay.
the same person that I was the day before. Various other bits and change, like lose the cravat, like
Okay.
add like a sort of like mask, but just have it hung over my sort of like top, and
Okay.
just tidy myself up.
No worries, you do so with
My
ease. You're a barber, you know what you're doing, you got plenty of cravats and different things to dress in, and you change your look quite easily. Enough so that people who don't know you won't recognize you from when you walked around yesterday. And you get ready. And Jonny and Snips, you ride off towards the city. Well, the town, little town. And Mordecai, you shift logs. Shift a lot of logs. You're tired by the end of it.
Well, it lends some credence to this whole I fought a lot of bandits thing, so fantastic, great.
Yeah, you're
Thank
doing...
you, Miss Morgan, for all your help.
You're doing great, Mr. Whatever your name is, says Larry from the driver's seat.
I got a name.
Mr.
Oh,
White.
Well,
Mr.
I was
White?
no dumbass.
Mr. Dumbass doesn't seem too respectful, ma'am.
It isn't.
She don't got no
Respect for the
respect.
Oh, that makes sense, he says. And about that time, as your montage lifting logs away and just like shifting them all one by one, Jonny, Snips, you ride on into town. And you make it in. The night is still young. It's quite dark out. You've got you can hear people in the local saloon. They're very much sort of rowdy in there as usual, and it seems quite pleasant.
Well, shouldn't we wait to make this whole distraction thingy until they kind of get into town?
Certainly, you can get situated in the bar.
Well,
It's up to you. Are you walking straight in and then going to do it straight away, or are you kind of getting in the bar? You're waiting till you see them go by and then.
Gonna try and sort of like get a position where we can see them go by and then kick stuff off.
Yeah, I thought as much from what you'd said last time. Okay, yeah, so you do. You arrive at the saloon, you get yourself settled in. You're given a few drinks. Of course, whatever you want to order. What do you order at the bar? Out of curiosity.
I'll take some whiskey.
Yeah, you get a whiskey.
Yeah,
Nice and
I will have a whiskey.
You get a whiskey as well, and you're both given a double of whiskey. And they kind of slide it on the counter towards you, and you see there's a lot of other people there, including the other barber, the one of the English barbers, who is very much not English at all, and is very broadly Scottish, as he's still kind of rowdy, and he's got like a big beer in his hand, and he's glugging it down, and he's speaking to a couple of the others, and they're yelling and playing cards in the corner, and it's quite a pleasant sort of feeling in this place.
It was upper class, wasn't it? People dressed
It
in
is
nice
quite
clothes.
upper class, yeah. It's rowdy for the upper class.
Okay.
So they're nice clothes, very, very, and like very polite. But then there's a couple of people that aren't, who are passing through.
I casually lean over towards Jonny. I mean, wouldn't it be a real shame if the barbers burnt down? I mean, that would be that'd be a real humdinger, wouldn't it? No.
See, I thought you'd just challenge him to a barber off.
I mean, that would work, wouldn't it?
I think it would.
I think might draw a little bit too much attention to myself, though.
All right. How you reckon we burn down this establishment?
Well, normally with various things that are easily set on fire. Whiskey is normally a good start. Moonshine and or half a dozen others I can think of off the top of my head. But yes, no, I think that would be enough of a distraction, don't you?
I reckon, yeah.
He's just not as good as me. Like, walk over to the bar.
Yeah, as you're doing that, you do hear in the background, I got a few awards recently, actually, from a few different places. Called me the best barber of the year. I got the awards, actually. Do you want to see them?
Snips just kind of stops, like where he stood, like as he's like
Oh
crossing.
boy.
We kind of sat watching, sipping the whiskey, and he just kind of like glances at this guy. I can't. Okay. And Snips just starts walking in the direction of where this guy is.
Yeah, you walk over and you go, it's the third one in a few years. Mostly it's for English styles, you know. Not quite the American ones, but the English styles are quite interesting. They're quite fun, he says as you approach. And the large Scottish man looks over to you, his red sort of hair tied back at the moment, and he's got no hat on, he's taking it off, and he looks over and gives you a grin and goes, oh, well, you're looking early fancy, ain't you?
Thank you very much.
Aye, no problem.
You're the barber in these parts.
Aye, that's me, the English barber.
I see. But you're not actually English though.
Well, you see, my third cousin is from England, so that's close enough. Besides, I mainly do English styles, which is why...
Oh, I see.
It's like more
So
of a, you know,
right.
it's like the moniker of it, you know.
So, and you're good.
Oh, well, I'm the best. People come from
Like-
all across the lands to come and see me.
I feel like Snips will totally now just showboat, just pull out his like straight razor and just roll it around his hands. Just how good are you? I mean, that's the real question.
The man stands out from his chair and he looks at you and he takes out of his side pocket a roll of something and he kind of unfurls it, and it's got loads of different scissors and razors and all sorts of different combs, and he kind of looks them over and goes, are you challenging me to a barber off?
Yes.
Because
Yes,
this ain't
I
my
am.
first time around one of these kind of challenges. And I'll tell you, I've never lost a barber off.
Well, we'll see about that, won't we? Good sir.
We will.
Let's see if the name's earned, and I'll like roll the straight razor over the top of my hand, back over my hand, and then slide it back into my jacket.
Well, I'll
Turn
have you
around.
know it is.
Sorry.
I said I'll have you know it is earned.
Oh, it is. I'm sure.
It is.
I'm sure it's earned. I'm sure.
And when I've won, and when I've
Great.
shown you who's the better barber here, you'll go running back to your monarchy.
I see. So this is now some kind of strange act of nationalism. Of course it is. It always is.
Aye.
Fine. But, right. Walk back over to where Johnny's sitting and just go, what did I just do? Why did I?
Hey, go for it. I'll
How
get
can you
the.
say that? But this isn't.
And about the time after you go, oh, have you heard? Someone's challenged Seamus. How delightful. We'll all go to the local barber. We'll go to his place. He's going to, have we got anybody who needs a haircut? And you see two people raise their hand and go, great. You two, keep that hair long. We're going to need you.
Indeed, we are. And I'll
Right.
go following after them,
Okay, so,
uttering about the fact that I don't have all my stuff here.
so you begin to
Um,
make your way over to the English barbers. And what are you doing, Johnny?
Oh, so everybody's going to the English
Everybody's
barber
going to the
now.
barbers for this. Yeah. It's across the road.
Okay, so I'm going to buy a couple bottles of alcohol,
Yep.
like good old fuel.
Yeah, the bartender kind of gives them over to you, and they're just like, yeah, that'll be a couple dollars. I mean, it seems all my business is leaving to go across the road, so, you know.
Oh, it's gonna be a good old party over there. So
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the third barber off we've had in about a week, so, yeah,
Is
it
that
happens.
common, huh?
Yeah, it happens quite often. People come and try and challenge him for his award. He's the best barber for English hairstyles. It's a very niche thing, but that's what he does. So yeah. See, what do you want? I'll give you discounted
How much?
rate.
How much did $2 get me?
Quite a lot. He says, and gives you about 3 bottles of whiskey and a bottle of moonshine that he kind of gives you on the sly.
Well then, thank you, and I'll cite $2.
Thank you, sir. You have a good night.
Grab the bottles and just wait for everybody to get in.
Yep.
And then just kind of like sneak out around the back and put the bottles, lay the bottles down,
Okay.
and then just wait. Go back up front, kind of, or to the side, and just wait for to see the caravan.
Yeah. Okay. So you wait to see the caravan. It's about this time that we'll say as Snips has kind of made his way over to the other shop. And Snips, you see that there's 2 barber's chairs. They get set up. They have like pre-made everything on them already. He's actually put out some comparable quality tools on your side as his. And he kind of shows them and goes, you can check them. Like one of the other guys goes, I've made sure to sharpen them. They're both equally as sharp. It's to make it fair. We take our barber off seriously here. We have to. They happen often.
It's a welcome change.
Well, nobody's been quite as ballsy as you have been about approaching it, but I kind of appreciate that. Maybe you'll win today. That'd be good. I mean, Seamus, he's real good, but it'd be nice to see him taking down a couple of pegs. He's a bit too confident with his, with his cutting and his barbering.
I see. Does he take risks?
Oh, he takes many risks.
Does he not go standard, as in, prepare?
Well, he
people?
does, but he always seems to find a twist that just makes it just right. I don't know how he does it.
I see. Can I just have a look at this man?
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, part of like my alarm bells going, and I'm like, this is a little too suspect, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like this is like I'm getting baited. So can I just have a look over him to see if there's any sort of like occult markings?
Yeah,
or...
sure. On Seamus? Yeah, sure you can. Give me a notice check.
That's a 5.
You look over him and it all seems to be normal. You do see, however, he rolls up his sleeves, getting ready to, do some barbering. He rolls them back up and you do see there's some tattoos that are on his hand and on his forearms that do look quite intricate. They look quite nice, actually. They seem to be different Celtic symbols on them.
Can I go over and I'll walk over to him.
Yeah, you do. And he's kind
They're
of
mighty impressive, let alone the tools.
right, yeah. I mean, well, I got them from back home. My family come from a long line of people who were local shamans, you see. I mean, it's a kind of an interesting one. We call them more druids than anything else. I mean, whatever you want to call it over here. But we like to think of ourselves as local healers. So we do things like different herbal remedies and things like that. So I've got a few, actually. It's how I get some good shaving cream. I make it myself. Got some
nice.
good
I mean, if you're
aftershave.
willing to share at some point after.
Yeah, I mean, look, just because I'm going to kick your ass in the barber off doesn't mean I can't share my techniques.
I mean, that's rather presumptuous of you, but of course you can try.
Oh, presumption. I beat everybody that comes through. Anyway, he just gets his tools ready and he prepares. And 2 of the men sit down. They both have very long, tangled, messy-looking hair as both of them sit down in the chairs.
How long do I think it's going to be before the cart rocks up?
And it's about that time that you hear the cart kind of rattling outside. They're incredibly obvious. There's metallic noises. There's the heavy hoof beats of multiple horses. There's the hefty wagon wheels moving through town. Like, it is, you hear it clearly. Even with all the ruckus around you, it kind of cuts through. And you do see one of them go to the window and go, "Oh, it's fine. It's just a delivery."
And
you hear
rather
this
loud.
Yeah, you know how it is. Banks, right? They need to show off, make a lot of noise.
Oh, I see. Well, let's see what skills you have.
Right, he says and kind of grins a bit. Meanwhile, rolling through the town, Morgan, Mordecai, and your 2 prisoners are all riding in. Larry's on the front. Who's with Larry?
Mordecai.
Mordecai's with Larry, not a problem. So he seems calmer now that you're beside him. Your compliments earlier about his cart driving expertise seem to have soothed him slightly as you're rolling on through town. And he makes it round to the back, goes all the way around, parks up, and then gets on out. All right. Well, this is where we are, Mister. I don't know the secret knock. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't worry. I mean, the old fella took sick, right? So we got
Yeah.
a new knock from New York way, where headquarters is.
Oh,
Am I right?
yeah. Yeah. You're completely right, sir.
Right.
You're very right.
It's a good thing you and I sure are good friends, Larry.
Yeah, we are. We are,
Yeah.
Mr. White.
Yeah, we are, Larry. Yeah, we are. Shut up.
Yes, sir.
Mordecai walks over up to the walks on over up to the back door, and he knocks a little rhythm, a little pocket noise from
Sure.
the back of the door.
And a shutter just opens slightly, and they look out through. You can just see the slit of their eyes as they seem to be sort of very wrinkled around the edges, and very squinty eyes look out from you. And they go, "And what could I do for you?" That was the wrong knock.
Yeah. Well, funny story. We got bumped.
Oh dear. Well, isn't that a shame? Where did you get bumped? How? By who?
I don't know, some ruffians down by the Figure of Eight up the road a little whiles back.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Laid down a few logs, so we had to just move them out the way.
Alright. And about that time, could you give me a persuasion check, please?
Did I ever tell you Watercap flashes a winning smile?
I believe in you.
Maybe I should have stayed in the car.
Somebody has to believe in me.
You send the person who's not persuasive there, just like...
Oh, here we go! Oh,
Oh.
Should have Benny that?
Free.
I'm a Bennett hat.
Alright, no problem. That means you're gonna have 2 Bennies left after this, so... Because you got a bonus one for your plan, so go on. Here we go. Oh god.
Wow.
I'm gonna take the
Free.
three.
Do you not
Fate
just want
has
to
handed
tank
you
all
a
your
3.
bennies on this? Like, but alright, you take the 3, and he kind of goes, "Nah, you're lying."
I kind of nudged my companion from inside the door, like inside the car. I was like,
What?
"You gotta speak up for your friend here." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what he's saying.
I smiled at him.
Yeah, just open it back up. I'll speak to him.
Mordecai tries the same wrong knock as before, just to make sure that people can, he's sticking by his story. I mean, they got bumped, and the guy that knew the knock. So
Yeah, he kind of opens it only slightly this time and just goes, "What do you want?" And about that time, you hear the other man from inside of the cart that you've left alive go, It's fine. You know how it is. Clint took sick. We had to come here anyway. And unfortunately, he had the knock and he didn't tell me. It's me, Georgie. I'm inside of the cart. I can't get out. Very sick. Just that man there, he's Mr. White. He's here to take over. He's safe. He's fine. Don't worry about it. And kind of about that time, the guy inside opens it up a bit more and goes, "Alright then, Mr. White. How much is in the cart? The exact delivery number, please, and can you also give me the reference number?"
I just got shotgun.
Oh dear.
Let me see. Hang on. The fellow in the back's got the keys.
I'll tell you what, you just give me the manifest, I will read it. Is that alright, Mr. White? I
That's
can
fine,
understand
that's
these
fine.
processes are rather difficult.
I know it's these newfangled bank types that different.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Kinda
what.
just-
I believe Clint should have had it in his pockets. He usually carries it quite close whenever he makes a delivery. He's always the one that hands it over.
Yeah, right. You gave me a lot of IOUs and stuff. Let me just make sure I got everything all bundled up right.
Yeah, no worries. We'll be right here. Don't worry, we have all night.
Mordecai walks on over back towards Larry. Larry,
Yes, Mr. Mr. White?
Did you know we have the body still inside the cart, right?
Yes,
Like
but
at
it was
this particular
looted.
point, Morgan's just kind of like shuffling through the dead body.
You shuffle through it and you find its pockets are already outturned. And you have like a moment where you flash back and you remember seeing Dr. Snips rooting through the pockets, taking papers and taking some other things and popping them in his pocket.
I snicker a little as I look at Mr. White. I'm like, well, Mr. White, it sounds like you gotta find a particular barber.
About that time, the door opens a bit again. If you're looking for a barber, by the way, there's an amazing one by the name of Seamus, runs the English barber shop. Award winner.
wow, how so very convenient. That's fantastic.
How about we get you a shave, get something to drink, sort through your IOUs,
Yep. Let's go find a
get the
shave.
paperwork.
Yeah. I'm gonna be right back, mister. Just give me a moment.
No worries, you do what you need to, comes from inside, whereas you hear Larry just kind of nods and he's, I'll be right here.
I'm gonna leave young Larry with the card.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right here.
I'm gonna go find me them, you know what's. Back in a second.
Oh man,
I'm gonna stay in the cart with Larry and George.
Okay, no problem.
They're my hostages. I'll be like, so tell me a little bit about yourself, Georgie.
Well, where do I begin? He says, and begins to tell you his life story. And
Good.
as he's telling you his life story, Mordecai, you're making your way over to the barbers, and you do see there is quite the crowd at the barbers right now. And you do hear as somebody runs across the road from the bar with like a bottle of whiskey under their arm, just going like, there's another barber off! There's been a new challenger!
What in tarnations of Barbarov? Oh, hell, never mind. He walks on towards the barbers with this new fella as he asks him his name. What's your name, mister? What's with this Barbarov business?
Oh, me? Well, my name's Clyde, and Barbarovs are a thing where somebody comes into town and they challenge Seamus, but Seamus never loses. He's an award-winning English barber, so, and everybody loses. He's got awards from all over.
Seamus.
He also makes a really good aftershave wash, and it's so, what's the word he used? Exfoliating. It's very nice, makes you very soft. It's quite good.
Exfoliating.
Exfoliating.
I ain't never been exfoliated before.
Oh, I wasn't, but after being exfoliated, it's good.
I might need to go and get myself some of this here exfoliation. Well, thank
From
you, Clyde.
Seamus the barber.
Seamus the English barber. Never heard of an Englishman called Seamus. Must be one of those new weird fangled types. As he walks over
They
towards
all
this
are.
here.
Yeah, that's fine. You go on over and you see Snips. Snips, by this point, you're probably halfway into your work, no doubt, with sort of this barber off going on. So, give me a quick agility check for your barbering, please.
Of course.
You're
What
going to
could
be
go wrong?
a 9. And you
That's
do!
an 11.
So, Seamus
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
this amazing cut. He cuts the beard nice and short. He trims it. He makes it beautiful. He scents it. He starts to cut the mane, the mane of hair that this gentleman's got. And he shampoos it, gets it ready, makes it real good, slicks it back, and cuts down the sides a bit shorter. And he thinks it looks amazing. He turns around, and you've already been getting your haircut on, and you're already ahead of him. You know, you've already finished your cut. You've finished your style. How do you style this gentleman's facial hair and hair out of curiosity to win this?
I give him proper sort of like I don't know. I'm going to imagine that he had a proper full head
Oh yeah,
of hair
he had
before he
like
got started.
long beard,
Massive
long
beard,
hair,
whatever else.
mane.
I'm going to sort of like give him like a proper villain's tash, very sort of like pull out the beard, sort of like work through it, get some oils in there, sort of like twist it out so it sort of like comes to this sort of like beautiful point. And then work through his eyebrows, work through into sort of like his scalp, tighten up the sort of like cut, and give him sort of like a very neat and simple side parting.
Brilliant.
It's crisp, and it's just like he does it all just using a straight razor. He doesn't even look at their tools. Like he's just like chin 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 chin, rubs through with his fingers and various other bits, and hot towels at the end, and just pulls away.
Okay, so yeah, with that in mind, you do so, and as you pull away, like they all look between them and go, and there's an audible gasp, and that's about the time that you walk in, Mordecai, and you see these two gentlemen who've both been, very much sort of trimmed and very much oiled and sorted out, and they look great, and it smells of hair products in here and aftershave and all sorts of products, and when you look, you see that everybody is looking in shock as Dr. Snips has managed to make a gentleman look so amazing, and Seamus has done the same, but Dr. Snips just has that little bit more panache to it.
I mean, the guy that Snips is good. He's got like rose petals and little twinkly bits around him and stuff.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's like the anime glitters happening near him,
All right, well, as Mr. White, mind you, walks on up to the barber shop, he knocks on the door to get everybody's attention. Excuse me, I'm from the Railway Bank. I've been sent on behalf of the head office to reclaim any IOUs anybody's got in the area. We're doing a tally. If anybody's got any IOUs and he's cashing, hand them over.
I always feel like it's unfair to just walk up and hand these papers over, but like because I just didn't look at them. I think Phineas is a mite more intelligent than me and will work it out. So he will just walk over. Dylan. Dylan Scott. Please take the papers. I was meaning to swing by earlier. It's part of the reason why I was in town. Certainly wasn't to just absolutely demolish this man at his own pleasure.
Oh, well, I ain't going to get in between a man and his professionalizing or exfoliating, sir. But that's a dang good haircut there. I might just swing by later on and see you myself. As he takes off those papers from Mr. Scott. Nowhere near Mr. Snips, mind you. Mr. Scott, he take the papers off Mr. Scott and hands them back over to the bank. Smooth like. Real casually collected.
So would you say that? What have you been up to, Johnny, this entire time? Because you loaded yourself up on a lot of alcohol, and you were taking out this mass of it. Are you setting a fire in the saloon?
No, I'm just spreading the alcohol.
Okay.
On the wood, like, I'm just kind of watching out. I'm kind of not sure when I should be starting this fire. So I'll just be, I guess I'll be in the side of the building. Just looking, just keeping my, not looking because I can't look very well, keeping my ear out, see in case if I hear any ruckus, and then I'll start the fire. I don't know. Well,
I was also
Sorry.
muted. You heard me, but no one else. So yeah, as you're sort of there, basically, as you're dumping all of this alcohol on, just to recap what I was doing, you all managed to dump all the alcohol. You get to your last bottle of moonshine. You're pouring it down. And as you're pouring that moonshine, you hear the clinking of spurs and boots as you hear Almeida walk behind you, who looks over and asks you why you're dumping all this alcohol down. What's going on with everything?
Well, Dr. Snips thought of burning this establishment as a distraction.
Right.
So I'm just setting down this alcohol. To light a match, just throw it.
All right. And where's everyone else? Only I don't see
They're
any
in the
around town.
barber.
He looks
Dr.
over his
Snips is
shoulder at
having
the
a
barber
barber
shop
off.
that's currently going crazy, and then all silences shortly, and you hear Mordecai's voice coming over talking about the railway company, and you see Almeida take a long drag of his cigarette. Right, yeah, this seems to be going to plan. So you in the bank yet? You got in? You got everything you needed in there?
I don't know, mister. Me and Dr. Snips split up from the other group. I think Mordecai would know.
I'm sure he would. See, that's where I'm getting confused, because Mordecai was meant to be with the cart, as far as I remember.
We might have had some troubles with the secret knock. Dr. Snips killed the man who knew it.
The secret knock.
The secret knock to get in the bank, mister.
Well, that's something, ain't it?
It's something.
All right, well,
Mr. Snips killed him, though.
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah, that makes sense for Mr. Snips. Yeah, he's a bit of a butcher sometimes. Don't tell him I said that. He'll be rather angry at me. But, well, he won't. Be perturbed, as he put it, I think. A very polite man. Well, you let me know when everything's going better. We might have some company coming, so we need to make this quick.
Company?
Not the good kind. We're making a distraction up the way. But, gotta move on with it. And I'll see you later. When you're done, take your horses, take whatever you need, or the cart, or whatever else you need to get out there. Remember to take the papers. That's what's important. And then
All right.
book it out towards the west. You'll meet us there. Past the rise.
All right, I'll let Mordecai know.
Good. He says and takes another drag and flicks his cigarette in the opposite direction of the alcohol. And just looks over. All right, you do good. Remember, Johnny, we're trusting you. Says, and he gets back on his horse and then gets riding back out.
All right. I'll head towards the barber because.
Okay, so you
And
begin
just
to
wait
walk
for
over
Mordecai
towards
to
the
come
barber
out.
Mordecai, this is about the time you finish. But meanwhile, Morgan, back over in the cart. It's about that time that Georgie's finishing his story, and he's kind of like, and that's when my ma said that I needed to get a real job, and so I said, Ma, I really want to be a carpenter, but I understand. So if you want me to go and be a bodyguard, I'll do that. And so that's what I did. And then some kind
Well,
people
that's
from the
real
railway
sweet.
company, they hired me, and now I'm here.
And you know that the railway company is full of,
Well, the railway lords, they are, very good people.
uh-huh.
Nice, they pay well.
You know what else they do?
Build railways, I assume.
Straight into towns and drive all the people away into ruin.
Well, there's that.
You would like working for people like that?
Well, I mean, the times are changing, miss. And the way I see it is, we need to all move forward, right? We need to all develop. These railways, they're growing, and they're only gonna get bigger. And these people, they're strong, they're rich as sin. And they're powerful.
And you don't think work for them is a sin?
Miss Morgan, I more think that I don't want to fuck with those people. I know where I want to keep my head. And whilst this is very different, and I didn't expect this, ordinarily we don't have so many affordances as this.
That is true. That is very true. Well, good to see you doing well on our job. Hopefully you live through this.
Yeah, hopefully I'm planning on it.
I give him a little, light, sort of disgusted pat on the shoulder because I'm, touching another person.
Now I'm worried though, like for you.
Honestly, I've already been dead once. This isn't really anything.
Oh, well. But I guess there's nothing to worry about then.
Exactly. She just kind of sits back He's like, I wonder what we're planning to do with you. When Mordecai's gonna come back.
Mordecai. Oh, is that Mr. White's name?
Yeah. Oh, nice to meet you, by the way. Name's Morgan.
That wouldn't be Mr. Taylor, would it?
I just smile a little bit wider.
Oh. Oh, this is a real bad fuck up.
Oh, hell no.
Was it be on your part? You've heard the name before?
All I know, miss, is that some people who really don't like that man are on their way here right now.
We know. This moment trap for us. This is it. You guys are the bait.
Seems it. Well paid bait, he says, and just kind of sits back. Well, good luck to you, Miss Morgan. Meanwhile, back at the Barberoff, you've won, and Seamus goes over to the side of the room, picks up a trophy that says World's Best English Barber, and he hands it over to you and goes, Well, mister, you've successfully beat me. I'm, if nothing, gracious in my defeat. So here is one of my trophies of being the world's best English barber.
I appreciate, but I don't want to take it. I think it's yours. I really would like to know about your, herbology, was it?
Oh, yes, my herbology.
Because that stuff smelled amazing.
Oh, it does. I've got some stuff with lavender in it. It's lush. It's great. I love it. He says, and he goes over and he starts showing you these parts, and about that time, the rest of them are like, start getting bored and start wandering out. Have you given the papers over to Mordecai? I'm just trying to remember.
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool.
I did say that.
That's all good. So yeah, Mordecai, you are given the papers. Do you start to make your way back?
Yeah, he just about turns and heads on back down the main street at the back of the bank, and once again he tries not the secret knock.
Welcome back, sir.
Hello there.
Have you got the manifest, sir?
Yeah, we managed to convince old Clive to part with these here papers. He has a leaf through until he finds one that looks like a shipping manifest and hands it on over to the door clerk.
He takes it and opens it and has a look through. Right. Yeah. Paddles it back through. All right. Will you get some of the boxes? Get Georgie to help you. We'll get him in the back, he says, and you hear a few locks unlocking before he opens up the big, chunky armored door, which screeches as it opens.
Yeah. Not realizing that he's actually just being rumbled by his very own partner in crime, Mr. White pulls his hat down low and turns his back on the door as he heads back over to the cart to converse with Georgie about getting these boxes off the back.
And it's about that time that, as you've heard that, Morgan, that you do hear a knock, and door opens, Mordecai's there, and Georgie looks over and just sort of...
All right, Georgie, we got some boxes to unload.
All right,
Mr. White.
You're
I got
welcome.
something to tell you soon. Come on closer.
He leans on inside.
I pull on by the scuff of his collar and pulls him in so I can whisper to him. He's bait. Just like they thought. They're coming for you.
They're always coming for me. This ain't nothing new.
All right. I'll go back.
We'll follow the plan. Oh, George, what's wrong with you? You got that flu in you or something, boy? Get out of here.
No, sir, I'm just waiting for, for you to give me the go-ahead, he says, and kind of gets standing up and he gets moving the boxes and lugging them as you sort of begin to make your way. So he begins to unload boxes of what looks to be bars of gold. He's kind of lugging each one out with quite a heft and starting to carry them inside slowly. And this takes a little while as he's going back and forth, loading them up outside of this vault. And there's a big old vault in the back of the room. And the other guard, you can see him now, about middle-aged man, sort of very tanned skin, very wrinkled face, wearing a business suit and with a what looks to be a very fancy-looking shotgun in his hands, as he's kind of got it slung over one shoulder. And he's just kind of watching Georgie bring it in, and they're making idle conversation as he does.
While they're doing this, can I put my silencer on?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. And there's only one guy in here.
Yes, there's only one guy that you can see in there.
All right.
Seems they trust their massively armored building.
Okay, so there's only one person, and he's the one who knows to get in the vault, doesn't he?
Maybe.
I'll wait. I'll train it on him, but I'll wait for in case he opens the vault.
Okay, no problem.
Mr. White keeps helping out Georgie getting the crates on the inside of this here building.
No problem. As you do, you see him sort of see the gentleman go into the back. He comes out a second later. He's got like a ring of keys, and he looks through them and opens a few of the locks on the door, and sort of gives it a heft, and just kind of looks over to Georgie and just goes, "Hey, Georgie, can you help me with this? Can't open it alone." And he kind of goes, he looks at you first.
Mr. White gives Georgie a nod.
All right. Yeah, I'll help you, he says. And Georgie stands up, goes on over, and the two of them grab it and heft it as they turn this lock mechanism around. And you hear a big kudunk at the end of it as they begin to lift it open.
As soon as it opens, the other guy's dead.
Okay, give me the shot.
Alright, let's do this. It's shooting, right?
It certainly is shooting.
Can I Benny that?
You can Benny that.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Go
I
ahead.
kinda need him
Give me
dead.
another roll. Just roll your gun, by the way. It'll roll usually attack and
Oh,
the actual damage as well.
that works for me.
Usually.
Which one's
So just
mine?
give it
Which
a
one's
shot.
mine? Let's go with this one. 4? I'll go with the 4.
Okay, a 4 is a hit. As far as it goes, he's unaware. He's not looking at you. He's got his hands on this vault, and you give him a shot. And as you shoot out with your sights, can you give me the damage, please?
7,
7 damage.
I think.
So you strike him in the side, and it does hit, and he goes, and as he's hit, he doesn't seem to quite go down. He's only shaken, and it's about that time. I'm gonna get the next two people to. So could the three of you that are in the room roll me agility, please? In fact, I'll do initiative because you know what? I can actually do that with cards, automatic.
Woo!
So I'm gonna use Johnny Sixshot as our villain here.
Villain?
So I can quickly add you guys on, and I should be able to somehow roll initiative on this.
Do I hear the gunshot?
The gunshot, you certainly don't. No, not right now.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I think this is how I do this. There we go. A bit of tech there. So we're going through this. So descending, Mordecai. By card suit. There we go. Cool. Morgan, you're going first. So as you kind of land the shot, it hits, and then immediately after it hits, you see he's not gone down, and it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Seeing that he's not gone down, I just kind of like click a little and quickly blow his brains out, I guess. He's not dead. Gotta aim for his head. So aim for it again. 3? I don't think that'll hit.
Unfortunately not. As
Oh,
you
can
go
I
for a
Benny that?
second shot. You can Benny it as well if you want. You got
Yes.
3 bennies a day,
I need
so
them
you're
down.
using them.
Yes.
So
I'll go down to 1 for this.
that's another
4.
hit. So give me the damage, please, again. 10. Okay, so that's a lot
10.
more damage. So this time as you go for the shot, you manage to hit solidly once again, and it strikes the shoulder again, the same one you've shot. As you do 2 shots, and the second one is a bit louder. Your silence is sort of failing itself a little bit at this time, but it hits hard, and you see him begin to bleed from the wound on his side, and he's wounded from that, definitely. And he looks at you, and it's his turn after that point. as he will try and get himself centered and passes, managing to get his bearings again as he aims his shotgun towards you at the door and just lets loose with a shot. Only one shot, however, as he's using one arm for this, so the recoil just makes his arm go back all the way. And that is a hit, unfortunately, as he deals a good 9 damage to you.
Okay,
So-
how does damage work again?
So damage, the way it works is after your toughness, which, what is your natural toughness? Can you tell me that, please? It'll be on your sheet near parry.
Toughness is 4.
Okay, so every 4 above each one, I believe it is a new wound. So basically, within 5, 6, 7, and 8, you're just shaken. 9 is a wound. 10 onwards and onwards and onwards. So basically, every 4 is an extra wound. So you've taken 1 wound from that shot. As the shot hits you, and you feel the buckshot hit you straight on, and blood is coming through, and you kind of stand there,
I give an
pained.
annoyed tisk.
And you tisk as you're shot straight on, and kind of your back hits the wall for a moment, and this noise just roars out in this metallic room. And he goes, "You're a traitor. Georgie, I can't believe you did that to me. It ain't me, sir. It ain't me." And at that point, we go round to Mordecai.
Cool. Mordecai is going to fast draw both Remingtons on his hips and lace up the poor fool with a shotgun.
Okay, go ahead.
Because 2-gun kid, so we're firing twice.
All right, go ahead. Wow. Okay. Yeah,
I think I hit this poor
that's
fool.
a hit with a raise, and then another hit. So yeah, give me the damage on the first with the bonus damage as well. All right. Okay. That's gonna be enough after Morgan had previously damaged them. So with the 2 shots that you've made, how do you want to kill this guy? How are you gonna finish this man off? Because he is long gone.
We're doing a western, aren't we?
We're doing a western. Yeah, that's. I'm glad you're catching on.
Well, I'm gonna go straight fistful of dollars here, and
Nice.
I think it's El Nino says the best way to kill a man is to shoot him in the heart. So both rounds, bam, hit this guy straight in the heart,
Right.
throwing him backwards into the vault.
Yeah, so you just fire 2 shots off, hit straight in the same area, straight in the heart. He flies back and lands into the vault, half of his leg sort of still hanging out of the vault, and the rest of him obscured by the vault itself as you sort of catch your bearings, Morgan, and you're unshaken.
Mordecai then just turns and looks at Georgie boy. I take it we're still on our arrangement, Mr. George?
Yes, sir.
Good. Get the rest of that vault door open for me, son. Make it quick.
Yes, sir, he says, and Georgie, shaken by the sudden violence, grabs the door and hefts it open, and inside you can see there are some gold bars in the vault, but not too many, and there's some boxes that will look to be dollars, and at the back there is a smaller box that seems to have an open lock on it, and that lock is basically currently obscured by a couple of boxes in the way.
Don't
Mordecai,
mind me. Just
audience.
gonna bend myself up. Like say as I kind of back up and like take a long breath.
Mordecai walks into the vault, and he opens up this smaller box with the
Okay.
barrel on the Remingtons.
So you open it up, you pull open the box, and inside you do see what looks to be a bundle of wrapped documents. They all seem to have leather bound around them as well, like an actual full binding on these things. It's holding all these documents in place. And on the front it does say, the railway company. Property of the
Right.
rail lords.
Just gonna have a quick read through these here documents, if you don't mind, Mr. Hollow.
Okay, so as you take a look through the documents, they seem to detail a few things. one, they detail a couple of the holdings that are currently on certain trains. There's a couple of trains coming through an area nearby, a couple days travel out, where there's going to be a couple of trains passing that are full of money. And they're going quite close to the border with their actual route as well. But there's another, and this one's the one that sticks out a little more to you. It isn't just money, but it seems that they've got a plan of something. There's a village out back down that way, and it seems there are discussions of them plowing through the thing. They seem to be wanting to take over it, and it's said that there's some items of interest within this town that they want. And a couple of the lords are heading there themselves, or at least their men are, their most loyal of them.
So they're pulling the old eminent no bane card.
Indeed.
Fantastic.
But
What?
you read a name on one of those documents. And the man in charge has a name that rings a lot of bells with you. You remember when you were younger, and you were stood, and you had a gang roll through town. And these people, they weren't right. They killed so many of your friends, your family, people you knew, people you grew and loved. And you remember being stood and seeing your own pa hanging from a tree, rope round his neck, and a calloused hand that gripped your shoulder as a voice cut through and said, "I'll tell you what, boy. You aim up and you hit that rope, and we'll leave you be, you and your pa. You don't and you miss, and you're dead and he is. How's that sound? You're a crack shot, right? I've heard all about that." And you remember taking that fateful shot. And you remember aiming down the sights, taking a breath, and firing. And it's as the bullet hits your own father that you snap back into the moment. And you look at the name on the paper, and it's that man. The man that's haunted you for this long. Apparently, he's gonna be the one leading that operation.
Suppose it's about time we gonna pay old Cotton Massey a visit. Red, we're done here. We're rolling out of town.
How about I get some of that gold first? Ugh.
Just try to cut it.
Why
shotgun
should we
wound.
get going first, lady?
She just points at the friggin' pile that we took down.
There's a lot of gold out here. There's a lot more in the cart still, but there's a lot of gold in here. And Morgan, you are not looking great.
Yeah, pretty much. I just kind of like go in the cart and I'm like, ugh, just get me some of that gold and we'll be off.
Jonny, meanwhile, you might not have heard most of the initial shots, but as the shotgun blared off and as Mordecai made his 2 shots, off just to the side as you see the barbershop people starting to walk out, you do hear shots.
Oh, gonna go and stay a little bit far from the thing, and I just toss a match.
So you toss a match up, and with your prep, it lights immediately. The flame starts to crawl up the wooden building of the saloon, and smoke begins to rise from that area slowly.
And it's nice because the saloon has already a bunch of alcohol inside it. So
It does, yeah, exactly.
I don't know. So I just start kind of with a quick pace, start walking around the back of the buildings and towards the bank.
Okay. So you walk towards the back and you see as you approach that Morgan is walking out wounded, and you see boxes of gold bars. And you see the driver. He kind of looks over to you and goes, "Hey, mister."
Hey there, lad.
Hey.
Miss Morgan, were we successful?
What do you think? Ugh. Come here.
Okay, I'll go.
I just kind of like put my good arm on him to make Like basically use him as like a human crutch.
Yeah, I'll lead her towards the cart.
Okay.
Now
We'll
we
lead her on.
really gotta be quick with this.
I know. This is the bait. Mordecai's the target.
All right, Miss. I'm gonna leave her in the cart, and I'm gonna go help Mordecai with the loot. And
Okay. So you're loading up the cart with the loot. Cool.
Yeah, reload up some, I imagine.
Okay, how much are you taking?
Some.
If we were to say $1,000 worth,
Yeah, I'd say
Well-
we take it. Yeah.
you're taking the lot. You're taking the whole 1,000.
I don't think we have enough time for that.
About a
I think
half.
like both of them can take like maybe like
Uh-huh.
one load each.
It's about 500 would still be in the cart. You only loaded off half by the point that you shot the man.
Oh, okay.
So we'll put half back on and then get going.
That's a bit long though. So what, how about a quarter back on?
So you're wanting 750. Are we
Yeah.
settling on 750?
Going once, going twice, sold.
750.
Or-
All right. So you're loading it back up. Snips, what are you doing after you've won your competition? Of course, after you've been shown through some essential oils and you've been shown various herbs that he's got, and he shows you a couple of ways to make some very nice aftershave and to make some face cleansing, exfoliating stuff. And there's some beautiful stuff he shows you, and some of the concepts aren't so foreign to you. You've seen some of these things before when you were studying and when you've been on your travels, but the way that they do some of them is interesting, and you definitely pick up a few things.
I'll discuss style a little bit,
Yeah.
and at some point, as impulsive as he is, a little bell will ring, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, no, I actually came to town." He won't say this out loud, but I came to town to do a bank job.
Yeah.
So he'll shove some of this aftershave, like, and store it up, make quick notes and all the rest of it. Thank the lovely Seamus for his time and wish him the best of luck with his business. And depart post haste
Okay.
towards the bank.
Notices the big roaring inferno.
So yeah, you make your way towards, and as you walk out, you suddenly see that the building is catching fire across the road from you, and the saloon seems to have caught fire, and you see Jonny making kind of a power walk towards the back of the bank, sword
Are there any
swaying.
grannies around?
No, I'm kidding. There's quite a few people who are like panicking outside the building now at this point. And there are some
I'm
grannies
just
about, and
gonna-
they're just like, "Oh no, not the saloon! Our young ones won't be able to go and drink." And some others are like, "Good riddance to it, I say."
It's probably why they're so grouchy.
Wait, we're burning the saloon?
Yeah,
They are
Oh, fair
burning.
enough. As long as it's not
Johnny's
barbershop
setting the
workers.
saloon on fire.
Ah, that's fine.
But yeah, I'm gonna make a kind of like a beeline for the bank and do my best to kind of avoid people. Try and observe, like, so if there
Yeah.
are people heading over there to cause problems, or if there's 6 or 7 men all with pistols out and stuff walking in direction, or try and keep an eye out for that sort of stuff.
Okay, give me a notice check, please.
Don't fail me now. Check that out. 11.
Cool. You look around, and you don't see anything of that sort. It seems everything's okay. You don't see people approaching, you don't see people around. Yet. Not at this moment. You get a feeling that something might be coming. Just a feeling in your gut. But
Right.
nothing's here that
Right.
you can see. Not right now.
Well, let's head to the direction. Let's go to the bank.
So you head to the bank, and you get there, and you see Jonny and the rest of them conversing, and you see that Mordecai and Georgie are both loading up the back of the cart with some of the loot. And you see there's many gold bars in there, boxes of them. Thick gold bars as well, not smaller things. Like these boxes hold about 3 each. And there's quite a few boxes. You also see some other bits and bobs being loaded in, and you've got like a little... Did you take the box with you, or did you just take the documents, Mordecai? I'm guessing you said
Muted.
box, you're muted. The tables are turned, it's not me. Muted.
I do rightfully declare I had the box under my arm, sir.
Good.
I just want to say.
Alright, so you've got the box under your arm as you walk out with this like polished mahogany box
Ooh.
with a broken lock on the front of it.
Well,
Howdy there, doctor. I poke my head out and then put my head back in. I might need some stitching up later. It's
It looks like you got grazed. It's unfortunate.
just a little, yeah.
So you know, the distraction went really well. I managed to keep most of the town away from this place. It's good to see you following through. Are we leaving?
Now, where's Almeida? Didn't he say that them and any other boys are doing something?
Almeida said he went with the other boys to cause a distraction for the
Right,
people
then.
that are coming.
How many distractions did we have going?
Just a couple.
enough.
And it's as you say, how many distractions did we have coming that you suddenly hear the beating of hoofs of a horse, and you see the face of Almeida appear from round the corner as he's rode in, and he's a bit dusty, he's a bit bloodied, and he's got a gun in his hand, and he just kind of looks at all of you and just goes,
All right, Larry.
"We're out of
giddy
time,
up."
let's get going."
I look at Larry.
Yeah, all right. Okay, slow and steady, Larry, slow and steady. It gets moving nice and slow.
Quicker, please.
Really?
And thank you.
Quicker. I mean, you might need to
Hold
hold
him out
like-
of the horse. Get going, boy.
All right.
I'm gonna head back into town.
Okay, you walk on back into town.
We've got a horse here.
Yeah, you have got a horse.
Get the horses.
Cool. So let's get this right. So who's going to be chasing? Well, who's going to be chasing the rest of them on horses, and who's going to be in the cart? Let me know what you're doing now.
I'm in the cart.
Riding shotgun on the cart.
The
I
shotgun
shouldn't
on the
be
cart.
on the horses, but I'll be on the horses.
Okay, you're on the horses.
I came in on Black Mustang, so I'm gonna have to stick with my
So
horse.
you're sticking with Black Mustang as you get on Black Mustang, and of course, Dr. Snips, you get on your noble steed, and you all begin to ride out. So the two of you begin to ride out and manage to catch up with the cart. It is, it's going quick, but it is a hefty thing, and it isn't exactly the quickest. And you do manage to catch up with it quite easily. With the distance you've had to move. You do see in the background, as you're sort of riding out of town, you see the saloon explode.
Michael Bay style.
Michael Bay
my
style. You see it go up in
Panic.
flames. The top of it just blows out. You see wood and bits of people and a lot of other bits that are flying out of metal and glass as you look back and you see this thing explode in the middle of the town.
They were so nice.
They
I
were.
know, all those old ladies, man.
And you hear one of the old ladies distantly as they kind of shout, "That's why you don't keep your gunpowder inside of your tavern." I told him it was a bad idea. You hear sort of resounding across as your ears ring slightly. And as you're making your way out, you do see Almeida look back over his shoulder and then looks at you, Johnny, and goes, "I said to keep the casualties to a minimum."
I didn't think it would explode.
Oh, for the love of God, he says and continues to go. And as you're riding along and chasing down as well, in the distance you do see a couple of the members of the other gang, the other members of your gang, are sort of... They're also riding towards you, and you see a couple of dark figures on horses behind them that are chasing down, and you see a couple of the members of your gang gunned down quite quickly as they fall off their horses, and their horses sort of rear back in panic.
Occasionally, you know the little slot thing that we use with the armored vehicle?
Yeah.
If that is the case, I'm gonna yell out, "Swap places with me, Mordecai."
And I'm going to ask for those of you that are riding, could you
No,
give
no.
me riding
Yeah.
checks, please?
No.
As you're currently in
Oh.
a chase now.
Oh my fucking god.
Are you ready? This is going to be spectacular.
Yep.
Oh yeah. -1.
This is
that's number one.
beautiful.
That's number one. What is it? No, that's a 3-on-1 dice and and a 1 on the other. So it's not actually two crit fails. I mean, arguably it's 2 crit fails.
It's not snake. It's not Snake Eyes. Just one.
Oh, snake guys.
It's technically not 2 ones on the dice, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But so you're riding, and as you sort of get into this more, given you're unskilled at riding, as you get into this more rigorous chase, you are You are almost immediately flung from your horse for a moment, as you're sort of leaning off the side, clinging for dear life as it starts to list off towards the left.
I'm just gonna go with it.
You're just going to go with it, that's fine. So the rest of you see...
Like the horse is better at riding than I am. Like I'm not.
That's fair, that's fair. So the rest of you, Johnny,
Oh, no.
your horse is doing great. You've gotten used to it, actually. You think that you can probably ride this in some more difficult situations quite easily now, as it seems to trust you, and you're a bit trained in riding. And it's just sort of going along, everything's fine. Until you see Snips, who was directly next to you before, suddenly just list off to the left heavily. And as you see, you look over to him, and you can't see Snips on the horse. He's vanished.
Oh no!
And then as his horse turns even more, you do see he's still on the horse, thankfully, but he's also horizontal. And but he looks still suave, so you know, there's that. So
At least it looks good.
Do you need help, Doctor?
Fine, I'm fine. This is normal.
Oh god. Keep going.
so you keep going, and
I have a question.
yes, Morgan.
Can I see this from a little peephole?
Yeah, you got a peephole to the side, so you can see the side of it, and he's at the side, so you see a horse with no doctor on it. But then occasionally you see his hat bobbing across the other side.
That hat is made of like I don't know how he glues it on. Anyways, another question is, do I see like what's the range between like let's say us? Can I see like the dark like figures?
Yeah,
us,
so
like,
if you kind of lean out a bit, you can see the figures behind. There's 3 of them on their horses. They're each wielding what looks to be just their revolvers right now. You see one of them with a rifle, and they're slowing a bit, and they're taking up aim towards the back of wherever you guys are. You don't know who they're aiming at directly.
And
though.
if so, would I consider my my revolver to be in range?
Yeah, it's in range. It'll be a
All
hard
right, if
shot,
that's-
but it's you can make the shot.
Yeah, I don't want whoever holding that rifle to be making that attack. So
Yeah.
she'll be like, right,
Okay.
making that shot.
Give it a
I'm
go.
probably gonna fail. Let's do this.
Aim up and give it a shot.
4.
You shoot wide, unfortunately, and it pings past their head. And you see one of them duck out the side, and yes, Johnny.
Can I also make an attack?
Yeah, anybody can that wants to make an attack. Aside from
'Cause
possibly Dr. Snips, he's probably battling for his life right now.
So I have these sticks of dynamite.
Oh.
All right,
That's good.
all right. You
Can
do have some
I
sticks
toss
of dynamite.
those?
Preferably,
in-
yes. I'd prefer you don't keep them on you when you light them.
All right.
Just like, wait, can I toss this? Okay, yeah, you can toss them. You can throw them.
I like to toss a stick of dynamite towards them.
All right, not a problem. So, yeah, so how many are lighting? Because you can bundle these.
1.
Just one. So you get a match, you light it, and you just throw it over your shoulder. And can you give me the damage, please?
No, this is where I realized that I did not put dynamite in the actual attack thingy.
Oh, that's fine. As long as you have it in your inventory, we're good.
Okay, so off the top of my head, I can't remember what it is, but given the situation, given they're in this sort of wider area, we'll call it 3d6.
Hell yeah.
I'll give you the 3d6.
All right. I'm not going to make you try and hit him because it's goddamn dynamite.
Woo!
So you throw it back and it goes off, and the one with the rifle just gets off a shot as the rest are kind of engulfed with this explosion, and the ground just like lights up and they're thrown off their horses. But the one with the rifle manages to control theirs, get off a shot just before, and they aim at the back of Almeida and fire.
As they do that.
Okay.
Lord protect Almeida, I'm gonna try to cast Deflect on him.
Okay, so unfortunately you made your shot and this is all happening about the same time, so I'm not going to be able to give you a spell as well. As you see the shot ring out, it does strike him in the back and does wound him, unfortunately, as it strikes him in the left shoulder, and you just hear him kind of go, "Oh, for love of-" And he keeps on his horse, though, and keeps riding, but he's holding his, he's kind of got his arm held back slightly as he's riding along. And he looks behind him for a moment and then speeds up to get towards the front of the cart. And it's as that happened that the explosion kicked off. And as the sort of smoke rises, they don't seem to follow, and as you cut through a few corners into a section of the woods, you seem to have lost them. And it's about that time that you see some of the remainders of your gang, the stragglers that are left. Some of them bloody and wounded, others completely fine, all ready to go. They've got the carts loaded, they've got the horses ready, and they're already on the road.
All right, if that's the case, I'll just kind of look at Larry and George, like, well, I think this is your stop, unless you want to go with
Yeah,
us.
miss, that sounds fine to me. It's been a delight.
Are we let
Please.
He's been a good boy. Come on, Dr. Snips.
Thank you.
Morgan? Mercy, are you feeling okay?
Yes, she's feeling
really
great.
concerned about our mate. You're is and I'll gesticulate at Jonny.
I kind of like, I just
Are
point,
they rubbing off on you?
I point at the cart with like full of gold and be like, I'm in a good mood today.
Oh, fair. No, that makes actually perfect
And it's just
sense.
sort of, you roll up into like a more secluded area for a moment and stop for just a moment whilst you sort of lay low and let them pass. And eventually things do go quieter as you do hear shouts in the distance for a while, but things begin to quiet slightly. You haven't got long though, but you have stopped to let them off if you want.
Okay.
Right, well, let's get this gold on the other carts and let's ditch this armor thing. It's going to slow us down.
Yeah.
We need to get moving quick. Al, you okay?
I'm better.
Almeida. My card.
We ain't got time, Doc. Just wrap it up or something. Throw some alcohol on it and we'll get moving out.
We can throw some alcohol in and burn it.
Why would
What's
you...
going to help?
No. He says as he kind of looks over and goes, so what's with these two?
Oh, hostages, friends.
What's the story?
Acquaintances.
Well,
The boy there knew how to drive, and that fellow was in the back when we took the caravan, so there we go.
They're real
Trustworthy.
cooperative.
Well, they didn't put a bullet in us for all of this, so I guess so. Unless you want to make him very trustworthy.
He kind of looks over him and he kind of takes a look at them all. He does look a bit beat up and worse for wear at this point, as they've seemingly been in quite a scaled gunfight with these people for a bit to buy you time. But he looks over and he kind of takes a peek over both of them, and he looks at Larry, who kind of just squeaks a bit, and
I love Larry.
kind of looks over
That's
because
so sorry.
I'm from, well, a bit further down south, sir, and I just delivered groceries. Right. Just get out of here, he says. He kind of looks at him and goes, just wait about an hour and then get out of here. What about you, he says, and he looks at Georgie, who kind of looks over at you all and the beat up state you're all in, and just kind of goes, yeah, well, I worked for the people that are after you, but I mean, it don't look like you're gonna get far. I suggest you just give yourselves over.
I don't think so.
What is Georgie? Is Georgie stood next to the car?
No,
Is
he's
there
kind of stood a bit further away. They've separated them out, and Almeida's kind of over there looking at them both. And he said, like, hey, yeah. So they're stood together, aside from them. Almeida kind of looks at him for a second and just goes... He kind of gives you a look, Mordecai. And he just kind of goes, that ain't gonna do, Georgie. He says as he just gives him a shot straight to the face. The gun kicks back, and Georgie just flops to the ground dead.
Yeah, I look at him. What a shame.
And Almeida puts his gun away and just kind of goes, right. You know, this is stinging like high hell, Doc. If you can deal with it quick, let's do it. We
Am
need
I
to be in good
feeling slightly
condition.
better and good enough to help load things?
You good enough to help load things.
Alright, I'll be doing that then.
Mordecai starts orchestrating the whole reloading and decamping the gold and getting
Yeah.
everybody, making sure everybody's actually ready to go, not just looking like they're ready to go.
All right, cool.
We're going to hit the trail pretty quick.
So it seems they're basically saying ditch the wagon, put some of the gold in ours, so that you're not walking around with an armored wagon with the railway company blazing on the side of it. So are you in agreement with that, or are you wanting to keep the wagon? Yes.
Are we near like the canyon?
You are.
area.
You're close to it, yes.
Then what I suggest we do is we leave some of the gold bars in just a few in the back of the wagon, and we just push that thing over the edge. Let it sail on to wherever it goes.
All right.
It's my suggestion. Whether we do that or not, of course, is up to you. This is democracy, I think.
Something like that. What do you think? Morgan? Mordecai, Jonny?
Why do we leave the gold?
Oh, so it's left. It looks like we crashed, maybe,
Problem is, there won't be any horses. We just be wasting gold.
Oh, fair. That's a good shout, actually. I didn't think of that.
Just leave this here.
No, keep the gold. Don't waste it then. That was a silly idea.
It was an idea. It was a good plan in its own way. So
keep all the gold, get everything loaded up, get ready to move. Then we're hitting the trail. Hard.
Right.
By the way,
this, I'm getting hold of Almeida.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just
You're dealing
forcibly,
with
just
him,
like
yeah.
going, no, stick the fuck down. Let me.
Yeah, he'll
do
sit
the
down
thing."
while you deal with his wound. The one in the back of his shoulder is particularly nasty. It was a direct hit in his shoulder blade, and it's not nice. The bullet's still lodged in. It's going to take some work.
Do you want me to knock him out for you, Doctor? I still owe him one from, what is it, 5 years ago?
I'm fine. Besides, I
You
need to
okay?
be
I
awake.
need him. I need him awake. That way, if he passes out, I know there's something really wrong.
He kind of takes a drink of a strong whiskey.
I take the strong whiskey out of his hand and then pour it down his back.
that was like a lot of fun.
Oh, Christ. All right. Okay, that was...
Heat up the blade, start picking away, see if I can get this bullet out of his back.
Could you give me a healing check? And while you're doing that, what were you saying, Mordecai?
Well, now probably the right
Do you wanna
time
Benny
for a
that?
little powwow.
I think I shouldn't I? I'm going to penny that. There you go.
All right, that's significantly better on an 11. Yeah, you do it with ease.
That's
It is
significantly
easy. This is like child's play for you. There's definitely no doubt in your mind or anybody's minds that couldn't have gone right. So, as you managed to take out the bullet, and you managed to. Luckily, it seems that there's not too much serious damage. It will take some time to heal up. His left arm's probably going to be quite numb for a bit. He's probably going to have to rest it for a bit, basically, at least a week or so. Try and give it some time to heal, give it some time to recover. You'd say longer, but you know that given you're on the road and you've got shit to do, it's probably going to be a week's the best bet you'll get. And he does stay awake,
Sort him out.
albeit in agony, but he stays awake.
It's for your own good.
I'm aware, Dr. Snips, that's why we keep you here. I trust you, you're our doctor.
Mordecai drops the mahogany box in front of Mr. Quinn while he's being seen to.
Almeida looks at it and kind of...
Kind of
chooses
look over
lip
his
a bit.
shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, he sat down, it's quite easy.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, yeah, he looks at the box and goes, so you got it. Good.
But there's some information in there you might find rather pertinent, Mr. Quinn.
I'm listening.
Some head honchos from these here railroads are heading on to a little village that ways. Headed up by a particularly nasty individual by the name of Carlton Massey.
Oh, Massey.
Yes.
Does that ring any bells for me?
Give
Kill
me
a
a
lawman.
very quick smarts check, please.
You know, if he's in the business.
Oh, he was in the business.
Ooh. 1. I know nothing.
You hear
I
the
know
name and,
nothing.
like, all you're hearing in your mind is just like, my shoulder really hurts. It hurts so bad. I don't like being shot. It hurts because you got caught by the wing. You know, you got winged by a shotgun. It's not nice. That's probably
Yeah, I'm
still
listening
in
to
your mind
I'll
right
just
now.
kind of like, as they're saying, I just kind of grab a handful of my like chewing tobacco and just go.
So,
Well, I can see why that'd be an issue for you.
I ain't asking you to come along, Almeida, but I got business. Nasty, nasty business.
Mordecai. Now, I haven't been with you for this long. You've not been my friend for this long. Without me owing you a few things, and vice versa. You want this guy, we'll get him.
What is he? Pretty boy lover?
How about you enlighten Miss Morgan?
Let's just say he's a real special someone. A few years ago, and by a few, I mean a good 15, a crew by the name of Massey's Raiders came through a little southern village. Now, they were scaring some folks off their land because the Confederate army were going to come riding through. They want some succor and spoils of war, so
As they do.
make sure people give it up is to get them gone. Problem is, there was a pretty notorious lawman that happened to reside in that there village, and he didn't feel no way about giving it up to anybody, especially no raiders. So he stood. He rallied around the men in the village and the folks, and he fought. Fought pretty damn hard, too. In the end, these here raiders had heard about their son being a bit of a trick shot. He used to do playful bets in the saloon, when he wanted a bit of pocket change. By the time this boy was 10 years old, he could hit a silver dollar from about 100 yards with open sights and a rifle.
Not like you could ever brag or anything.
Just telling the truth. Yes, I'm telling you the story. Anyway, they strapped the sheriff, stood him on a chair from out the saloon, and told the boy, "Son, we'll let you go if you save your daddy's life." The boy missed. After that, he took off and joined the Union Blues. Been searching for the son of a bitch ever since. So yeah, he's a real special somebody. Once again, I appreciate that bringing personal matters into the business ain't the done thing, but it's the first time in a long time he's been so close.
Well, that's a real peachy story you just told me right there.
Oh, I'm glad you're entertained. Problem is, he's working on behalf of the railroads. Heading up their parcel to scare some folks off of town. Eminent domain. Plus, in these here papers,
Yes, I could read.
They're also suggesting that there's something valuable in that their town too. So if it ain't for love or for hate, maybe your pocket might be tempted to go. As for me, I know why I'm going. And sure as hell ain't for love.
More importantly, JM.
Yeah.
Do I know anything about them now that he's given me an extremely tragic backstory?
Yeah, they're your old gang.
And who is this guy?
This guy is one of the old leaders of it. They left
was that
when you
Miss-
were in. Their son was the man that you killed.
Oh.
The reason that you were buried.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I know him.
You do?
I killed his son. No wonder that name rang a few dim bells.
What a shame. I wish I was there to see you.
Well, tell you what. You saved my life, Mordecai.
Oh, don't you, of all people, start getting sentimental on me now, Miss Brandon?
So, I'd be happy to help you kill this man if you help me hunt down the rest of his previous gang members. You know, the way you guys found me. I kind of would like some payback. I'd like to pay my debts. I ain't in no hurry to go to Scotland. Heard it rains a lot there.
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. But he ain't here, so let's do it on his behalf, huh? How's that sound?
What are you two? Jonny, Doctor, what do you think? Only this ain't what you signed up for.
I look around. I look at my cart. I look at the various individuals who still need patching up, and then I look at sort of like Morgan. No, I'm pretty sure this is exactly what I signed up for. Morgan, don't think you've got away with it. You always are the last to come to my cart, but we really need to get that buckshot out, otherwise you're going to go gangregas, and then you'll lose, possibly your whole right shoulder.
I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of hide behind my flask because I drink some whiskey. I purpose move my shoulder, pretend not to wince, and go.
Oh, perfect movement. Maybe you could do some windmills for me if you raise both your arms above your head.
Don't need to, Doctor. I'm the picture of hell.
What are you, Jonny?
Well, I reckon y'all gave me Black Mustang.
Yeah, we did.
All reliable. And I like Denton. Make some good beans.
He does.
I think I'll stay.
Good. Then we're glad to have you on board, Jonny. For good, hopefully. At least till we get out of here.
Just in case, though, Almeida.
Morgan.
I would like some of that, ID you got for us.
Oh, we'll get that. Miss Mariah, she knows a few people who can hook us up. We're gonna send some money their way when we split up. We'll send half of the crew back. We'll keep a few core members. What we're moving on to do, we don't need all of them for. So we'll move them out. Don't meet up with her. She'll see them the way through and give them what they need to get on with their way.
This ain't no work for decent folks.
I know. Most of them who are will get out. But us... well... we're all... heavily wanted, it seems.
We ain't not been decent folks for a long time.
Well, I think it's overrated. But in that case, we get them out. We get them to Mariah. She'll see them out. And then we move on to the location before they go and book it.
One thing, Almeida, I just, you colour me perturbed, but I would say that we're decent in our own right. If you catch my drift, we don't kill for the sake of killing.
No, we don't do that. We're decent in some way. Is that better, Doctor?
Either way, we're all going to hell.
That's, of course, assuming that.
And as you ramble off about, of course, assuming that there's a god, and you kind of go on about your moment, that's where we'll call the session for today. As you're all loaded up with gold, you've all managed to succeed in your robbing of the bank and the cart, and you found the papers that are pointing you to not only 2 trains that are going to be crossing over near the border, but also a third and final one that is going to deal with a town, and of course some old business from you, Mordecai. And you do send off the other half. After about a few hours wait, you make your way away. And as you do, the others manage to sneak away, and all of you make your way across and make camp for the night and begin your slow path towards the town of which you're setting off to go and meet, well, the person who made you kill your own dad, Mordecai.
I'm going to see Daddy-in-law.
And you're going to go see Daddy-in-law, and that's where we're going to call it. So,
Spending my evening just picking out the bookshot and deliberately being a little bit more painful than I need to be.
I'm kidding.
Still, thanks for playing, everybody. Really enjoyed having you all here. Yeah, a lot happened in this one, and thanks everybody who's watching. Absolutely love having you all here. Thank you for tuning
what
in.
happened to Declan?
Yeah, amazing.
Declan's alive. Don't worry about it. Your cook is alive. He's well. He cooks beans for you that night. He's not been allowed to leave. He's not allowed to escape the country until all of you do. He's only allowed to stay and cook more beans because he does them good, and if not for that, you may starve. So you keep your cook. He's one of the only people that stays on with you. You have a single cart, you have your horses, yourselves, and of course Declan, who is your cook, and they're the only people that are coming along with you on this new mission.
Okay, phew.
So we'll go around and just let us know who you are, your favorite moment from the game, and anything you're working on that you want to obviously mention to all these folks who are watching. So we'll start off the same direction as usual with Morgan.
Alright, so I've been Morgan. Also, that was amazing. Still recovering from that. I am Loria Lark. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. And my favorite moment of this particular session. You know what? I think my favorite was probably the dynamite. Like, dynamite was MVP. I knew
it. I knew it would be useful. I knew it.
It was explosive, and another thing I probably really loved was the barber off. It gave me some like serious Sweeney Todd vibes. I was super happy. So those were like probably like my top two. I probably have more, but I'll just keep going on and on forever.
That's fair. No worries. Well, thank you very much for playing. Morgan, as usual, is a joy to have in the game. So thank you very much for that.
She's very happy to be here.
Very happy. Very happy.
Thank you for running, of course, as usual. Hello.
Not a problem at all. Thank you very much. And our brilliant Dr. Snips.
Thank you very much. I've been playing Phineas Sterling, alias Dr. Snips. It's a really good, fun system. I love Savage Worlds, and I think my favorite moment is I always play into hindrances and things like this when I play this game. And one of the main hindrances of Dr. Snips is that he's very impulsive. So I think my favorite moment is when Hollow started checking the stuff about just the smack talk with regards to the barber and stuff, and being able to play off that. That was cool. That was super sweet. And just be like, no, I'm going to win. Unfortunately, I did. As is the roll of the dice.
You did.
Yeah. I didn't to be fair. There's sessions with these guys. It's always the same. There's so much stuff to talk about. I'm currently working on Let's Play, so that'll be coming up on my YouTube. I'll be going out on my Twitter, on my Instagram, and stuff like that. And you can find me at 5 Rounds More in both cases. And thank you for watching, guys. You've been lovely as always, and thank you for running along.
No, always happy to have you here, and it's been brilliant to have Dr. Snips. I love the barber off. It was great fun. And moving on to Mordecai.
Thank you, everybody. I'm Rocksteady. I've been playing Mordecai Taylor. Once again, guys, thanks. You've been a great audience. It really is heartening to see you guys enjoying the show. So 10 out of 10 for you guys for being supportive. I think the best part for me, as a semi-audience member for that particular piece, was finding out that apparently Dr. Snips's throwing knives are roughly the size of your average meat cleaver, as it took the poor fella's foot off at the ankle. I mean, just walk up to a guy and just take his legs off. Great, fantastic, crack on, kid. 10 out of 10.
I did love that. It was a brutal throw. It was ridiculous.
Dude, it just...
the amount of aces on that damage was just crazy. So yeah. Amazing stuff.
10 out of 10. And to be honest, I'm one of them guys that always finds it funny when you do drop a clanger. So the whole awkward interaction with the guy at the back door of the bank with the, "I ain't the knocking code and you ain't got no papers and who are you?" that was fun, along with any little mishap that happens. I mean, it's always a, it's always fun. I mean, Star Wars wouldn't have been Star Wars if Han Solo didn't get caught out with the intercom. So yeah.
No, that makes sense.
You can find me at Rocksteady17 and Rocksteady Scar on Twitch. I'm getting back into mini modeling. Started painting things up again. I'm not very good. Please be gentle. Please be kind. And I will actually be streaming something come September when it releases. So
cool.
Please, guys, look out for that. And once again, thanks. You've been a great audience.
Brilliant. It's always good to have you as usual. And finally, our Jonny Six Shot, our Gene. Thank you for playing as usual. What's your favorite moment and who you are? And finally, as well, we've had some requests from chat. You should show us your full costume with your hat before we leave today.
Okay.
All right.
Camera. I don't have that much space, but
that's fine. You lean back. I know the hat's going to take up the entire frame, but
I play Jonny Six Shot. Again, no social media because I live in the Stone Age. My favorite part of the session was, of course, the dynamite, because
so
people called me a madman for buying dynamite sticks, but I knew that it would come in handy, and there we go.
Dynamite MVP.
Again, just want to give a shout out to the people watching, my girlfriend, all the kids that are also watching. I basically have a bunch of surrogate children now. It's pretty interesting.
Congratulations on fatherhood.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. So let me take off my headphones and put on the hat, I guess.
And we'll go ahead. Here we go. Oh, there we are. There's the hat.
Oh yeah.
That's what we like to see.
The next time I'll get smaller headphones, hopefully, and be able to wear the hat.
Brilliant. Can't wait to see that. That'll be great fun. And so as usual, I've been a Hollowtail. You've been watching Wanted Dead or Alive, our Savage Worlds Adventure Edition Deadlands game. And we'll be back here in 2 weeks at the same time, 12 p.m. EDT on the same channel. And if you need to catch up on any of the VODs, I've posted a link in the chat. It is youtube.com/Hollowtail. That's Hollowtail. Like a story, not like one that's from your back. And aside from that, you can catch up on all the VODs there for any of the series, including this one. The first episode is up and we'll be getting a link there soon. And until next time, you've all been amazing. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time, and thank you very much. See you later. Bye-bye.